remarks, let me start by welcoming our chief guest and my colleague, Adan Mohamed, the CS Industrialization, CS Mining, Najib Balala, the Governor of Nairobi, Dr. Evans Kidero, Acting Chairman and Board members of the Capital Markets Authority, Chairman and Board members of the National Securities Exchange, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We are honored today to have you here for this important occasion of the self-listing and commencements in the trading of the shares of the Nairobi Stock Exchange. It is gratifying to note that this self-listing comes at the backdrop of immense confidence demonstrated by the investors in our capital markets. You've just heard the figures of the oversubscription, and I was just comparing it with the performance of a Eurobond, which again was oversubscribed. So it really shows that much as the international investors have confidence in the country, also the local investors do have even much confidence than the international investors. Thank you for that. So before inviting my colleague Adan to deliver the keynote speech of His Excellency the President, let me just say a few words. First, as you're aware, we are working with the Capital Markets Authority to facilitate introductions of new products that can be offered by the Nairobi Stock Exchange. For example, the framework for the Real Estate Investment Trust, REITs, is complete, and we are expecting new local and foreign investments to be made through the REITs, which will enable the public to own units in various real estate development. This will lead to orderly development of the real estate projects countrywide and provide avenues for developers to access cheap capital. Second, the Capital Markets Act now enables the NSE to commence the implementation of the derivatives exchange. This will provide an avenue for the hedging of currencies and, more importantly, the development of the commodities exchange in Kenya. This, as Najib has mentioned, as we plan for the exchange for minerals, we're also looking at the exchange for commodities, especially agricultural products. And this we expect that farmers will get best value for their produce. So to this effect, we urge the Nairobi Stock Exchange to engage agricultural organizations so that they can use the derivative systems to market their products internationally while reducing the cost to the farmers. And we hope with the Mining Act coming on board, we'll also say the same for the mining sector. Third, we are supporting reforms in the equities markets to enable investors to trade online and also use their mobile phones to buy and sell shares. Similarly, we are instituting a Treasury mobile direct system, which will enable citizens to purchase government securities through their mobile phones. This will widen ownership of government securities away from the traditional institutional investor and facilitate increased trading in the secondary market at the Nairobi Stock Exchange. Fourth, as I announced when we issued our US dollar 2 billion euro bond, we are exploring how to list this bond and other international bonds. And I need to mention that we are began the process of issuing a Diaspora Bond, and we will completing that process very soon. And we expect this in future to be traded in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Fifth, let me recognize the important role played over the years by the Nairobi Securities Exchange towards our economic development. These contributions have been made possible by continued innovation and the excellent working relationships that exist among the key partners, including the the National Treasury, the Capital Markets Authority, the NSC, and the entire capital markets fraternity. Sixth, the demutualization and the self-listing of the NSC is part of the reforms we are implementing to enhance the governance standards, enhance participation in our markets by a wider community of investors, and to attract increased portfolio investment. This self-listing is second in Africa, and therefore it's a major milestone, not just for Kenya, but for the continent as a whole. The NSC IPO is indeed a timely impetus for Kenya's progress towards the achievements of a middle income status. It provides another opportunity for local and international investors to participate in our capital markets and contribute to our economic development. To this end, I wish to commend the Capital Markets Authority and, more importantly, the board and management of the Nairobi Securities Exchange on these auspicious achievements. Just before I conclude, let me just mention something that the chairman of NSC mentioned about the capital gain tax. I think I understand the apprehension in the sector. Like any new tax that is introduced, always there is apprehension. But I want to assure you that its design, implementation will be done in a manner that does not constrain the growth that we have seen in Kenya over years. I want to assure you that we will work with KRA. We had to discuss a lot this with Parliament before the bill was passed. And I think what has been put there is more comforting than originally how it was going to look like. So what remains really is to design it in a way that does not affect what has been achieved so far. So I would be welcoming your suggestions on how we can progress this with the KRA so that we make sure that this new tax does not affect the development in the capital markets, which we are very eager to grow as an important pillar in our financial sector reform for Vision 2030. So I just want to assure you that you should not be apprehensive about it, and we'll make sure that it does not affect the growth as we have achieved over the years. Thank you very much.